Welcome back from that break, and joining me this evening in the studio is Omoruko Julius Excel, and he is the CEO Excel Foundation and former Secretary of National Union of Urobo Students nationwide. Well, it's glad to have you join me in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
Good. You're already looking all fabulous. I don't know, the festive the festive season isn't here yet. It's just around the corner.
Yeah.
You're already taking off the look like this Christmas we are in for it.
Yeah, you know, we just need to look good despite the challenges around us. Just have to be happy and look good,
right?
So that we can encourage others.
Oh, that's interesting. My pleasure again having you in the studio. Well, viewers, right away, let me remind you that our phone lines are open for you to call in to join the conversation. Julius, what do you make out of the non-compliance of some states? I mean, some states. When I say some states, it is reported that states like Kaduna, Ebonyi, Nasarawa, FCT,
Jigawa, Kogi State are also there.
No, I don't think Kogi State is included.
They are not paying up to the.
No, they're even paying above.
Okay.
Yes. So what do you think is behind the non-compliance of some states' governments paying the national minimum wage?
There are factors, and one of them is financial constraints.
Okay.
There are some states that they don't generate the same revenue as other states. An instance, what Jigawa will generate is not the same thing as Lagos State will generate.
Okay.
That is a factor. Another factor to be looked at is some states give priority to other expenses, the prioritization of expenses, or like they are doing projects, they attend to more of infrastructure projects, healthcare, and all that. So they cannot, those increment of wages cannot fit in because they already give priority to the infrastructure project and healthcare and all that. They take it as a number one priority. Then another thing that will still contribute is lack of political will. Now, what do I say? What do I mean by lack of political will? So people they find it to make a conclusive conclusion, a conclusive agreement to agree together collectively on the round table in their parliament, talking about the House of Assembly within their state, to come out. Okay, look, this is what we can do. You know, you get to a stage that you have to come together and put it together to see what you can do, because after considering your IGRO, your internally generated revenue, you must know that okay, this is what we'll be able to provide. And that will not lead to the other one. The IGRO is another factor. What you are generating, if it's not enough, that means you will solely rely on federal allocation, and that will not enable you to do what? To pay the wage, the minimum wage that the NLC are proposing. You understand? So those are the factors that contribute. Another thing that we have to look at is the working relationship between the NLC and the state. There are some governors, they don't even give attention to these NLC people. The way you talk, the way you negotiate with them is a subset to what you are going to agree on the state. You understand? So it's a factor that hinders this increment of wages at the state level. Another thing you have to look at is poor resource persons. No, there are some states when they know that this is acceptable, this is what will benefit the citizen of the state, they will call the governor, they will call it to a round table talk. Let's do it this way, because the truth is that they are not pegging everything to be there is no money in the state. We all know that all states are not equal. They all have their different allocation and different IGRO. What they are generating as a state is not the same. So what do we do from here? Out of nothing, how can we be carried along? How can we merge in? How can we swim with these people that are swimming already? So those are the factors that hinder some of these states, and of course bad political representative and all that.
Okay, so I heard you mentioned is it financial
constraint? Yes.
Constraint, but regardless of the financial constraints, this is a law. Is being passed, is a law, and according to constitution is a law. Again, looking at the current realities, do you think these reasons you've given are justifiable? Because you and I live in this country, except maybe you just came in, or maybe they're
actually not justifiable. I just listed them that these are the factors that might be hindrance to some of these states. And believe me or not, if you go to this state government, they will tell you all this I'm telling you, that the low budget, this they give priority to their project and all that.
Because people need to survive. People need to survive because the current reality is not smiling. Again, this is a law, and I think do I say misplacement of priority? Not really misplacements. The infrastructures, state development, all that are fantastic. They are good. But the thing is, people are trying to navigate through the current reality. Caused by the current administration reform policies, which includes the removal of fuel subsidy, exchange rate, and the rest of it. So don't you think, you know, when we talk about placement of priorities, don't you think it should be a priority regardless of state infrastructure?
It ought to be the utmost priority of the state. I'm not a side of the state that I'm not meeting up to demand, to expectation from LSC. I'm just trying to atomize the consequence, the things that they might use as excuse. You understand? I think any state who is not really coming together to say, okay, let's do something for our state, because this thing you are not doing it for other states, you are doing it for your state. And it's a legacy as a state governor, if you are able to pay good salary to your workers, because you are seeing the reality of things, that things are changing. Something that you bought 2018 is not as the price as 2014, 2015, 2016, 2023. And the current year, our going 2025, now things will be changing. So you have to, as time is progressing, things are changing. You have to change with this. And I agree with the fact that when there is a law, it should be carried out in all states. They should assimilate, they should embrace it, they should adhere to it, because it is not a particular state that is making this law. It is federal. It's a federal agreement, a federal law, a federal rule. The NLC does not come from one state. It's federal. So when the federal speaks, I think the state should try to dance to it, because it is the purpose of encouraging the workers. You could see workers that are complaining, buying fuel, paying house rent, school fee is not there. You are feeding your families, they are not there. Daily feeding for your families, they are not there. So by the time you deduct this money from your salary, there is nothing to write home about. So there is need for state government to emulate. If they cannot even, they should do it for the sake of God. For God's sake, they should emulate it and pay. Because you could imagine some states, they spend the lavish money on more projects when you know that this project does not worth this money.
Exactly.
There are some projects that work just for this 400 million naira, they will award 1 billion. That is misappropriation of fund. Exactly. That is fraud. So those money ought to be used for the workers of the state. So that as these people, you are paying them good money, they will be happy for you, irrespective of their political party. Any state governor that is good will be praised. That is the fact about it. Exactly. Whether you are an APC, you are a Labour Party, you are an SDP, you are an LP, anywhere you are, you must be paid, because you have shown to them that you are not a political man, a party leader. You are a leader for everybody. So you ought to carry everybody along. I think the LSC, there is need for us to increase the velocity and the volume of this protest, so that the state government will know that yes, we are not smiling, we are no longer kid. This is the right time to start, because you cannot tell me you pay you 40,000 naira, 30,000 naira at the end of 30 days, and some of them will pay at the end of 30 days. In
a country where a bag of rice is over 100,000, 1 liter of oil is 1,000 plus.
Yes. So
dollar is about 1,000.
You get. So this is actually outrageous. Actually outrageous. So I think for us to progress, there is need for us to always embrace the law that is made to coordinate and survive the nation. You go to other countries, you see that the people there are minimum wage. Indonesia minimum wage to Nigeria, it's not the same thing. So all those things, that's why the fact that their money is low. But then it should be something that you emulate. It shouldn't be say that okay, you want to be fighting the state, you want to be fighting the federal government, or you want to be fighting LSC as a body or as an organization. It is bad. Okay. Because what you are doing, you are trying to show to the whole world, or to the federal government, that you are more rascal than the other state. You are wiser and all that, and it's not too good. You are doing yourself, because anything you do on earth has a repercussion. And even politically, it has a repercussion also. Even the people that are eating that money with you, they will know that you are a bad leader. And the time will come, you will reap it. So I think they should embrace, they should respect their culture, they should respect their tradition, they should respect those that are working endlessly, tirelessly, day and night, waking up from morning 8 o'clock to 8 p.m., working for them. It's not just to be blowing siren all over the state and all that. I love what our president did, that you shouldn't be having a mandatory convoy. Because some people are just, when they go into government, they see it as a place of going and stealing and building themselves and enriching themselves. You have to extend these riches to the citizen of the state.
All right, I love that part where you say you are going to reap what you sow, and of course I hope this gets to the people in a position. But then again, well, viewers, another reminder that our phone lines are open for you to call in to join the conversation. Some state governors claimed their inability due to state revenue allocation. But then, looking at the flamboyant life these people live, do you think that is justifiable again?
That is what I said earlier. It is never justifiable, and it will never be justifiable.
So what do you think should be do? Because we see them living flamboyant life,
that is
moving around with multiple vehicles, traveling abroad every now and then. But then they come out to say, we don't have the money to pay.
Sorry to say this on air, but then I think some of our states governors, allegedly, they are not really supposed to represent us. Yeah, because their style of life, their way of life does not portray a sole role of a leader. A leader is a selfless person. A leader is somebody who will have one kobo. I will say, okay, let's come and eat this one kobo. Let's share it together.
Comrade, give me a second. Right. Let's listen to what the scholar have to say. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Oh, good evening. Glad to have you join us on the show. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this very fine topic. My name is Akinton Akinshola. I'm calling from Akura.
Okay, please go ahead.
You see, the only thing that baffles me is the insincerity ways of our method of governance in this country.
Okay.
That our governors are being taken for granted, or possibility of them using us like tools, or thinking that no one is even existing to challenge or to even ask them. You see, some of our governors are saying they implemented minimum wage, but when you see what is underground of it is complete 419, honestly speaking. It is even better, sincerely speaking, it is even better they leave the money as it is and tell the whole world they don't have anything to add. Some governors will not sit down with their union representatives. They prefer to go to campaign, whatever, and declare any amount. Like, let's say, for example, Kogi State.
Okay.
Nobody is asking him to say, I want to pay 72,250 naira or 300 somehow, just like that. But somebody, the civil servant, came out and said that this is so amount that we were paid. As at that moment, he was asking everybody to be creative. You see, I used to tell people, not that this our governor cannot even pay 200,000 naira minimum wage. On a serious note, they can do that if only they wanted to.
Okay.
And let me tell you this: they are going to be a miracle worker if they say they want to pay. If they are willing to pay, it is available. It is not available when they are not willing to pay. That is just the logic.
All right.
Let us come back to Ondo State. I'm a civil servant in Ondo State. I don't care, honestly speaking, because I will never spoil anybody's name here.
Okay.
We just have to say the truth.
All right.
I don't think the body of union were just sitting down when our governor pronounced that amount he was talking about. And let us talk about the template now.
Okay.
They were saying some of the governors were hiding under, we are waiting for federal template. When the federal template is eventually out, how many of them are following what is the federal template? Let us compare the civil the minimum wage here in Ondo State and that of Edo State. The difference is clear, sincerely speaking.
All right.
Our governor are not sincere to themselves, but there is God. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
There is God.
The way he ends it. there is God. State governors, there is God.
Yeah.
That is what a caller from Akure is saying to you this evening. Comrade, please, you were saying something before.
Yeah, like what I was saying. Although he said some clips from what I want to say.
Okay.
Because he made mention of the governors are not really ready to pay, because if they want to pay 200,000, of course they will pay. If you look at their lifestyle so far, the way they live their life, the vehicles they buy, the lavish life they are living. Come on, all those money that they are talking about billions of naira, and after leaving the office, there are money that they can't even account for.
Exactly.
And this starts happening in my state, Delta State. Before they now come in conclusion that this is how you get guys and went. All those things are just stories upon stories to just to cajole people and make things look fine for them. If you really want to pay this state, you really want to pay the minimum wage, then just call your parliament together and make a pronouncement. Some of them will even come and agree, and they will not do the same in their state. They will come to Abuja, they will take pictures and do that and that, blah blah blah. When they go to the state, they will be doing other things. They will only salaries 3 months, 4 months. So local government workers are suffering. I know what I do. When I work in local government, where I was schooling doing my BSc, I know what I saw. People are suffering. There are some women who will be going to farm. They will be relying on the farm, because what is coming from the government is not encouraging, and it's not even coming as at when due. 3 months, 4 months. Some of them will be borrowing money, taking loan at the verge of the place of going to farm, borrowing money, taking loan. Some of them will be killed, accident and all that, kidnapping and all that. Yes, men. So these things are really, really provoking, and it's not helping us. But it's after we put an end to all these things. If you are not a good leader, if you are not ready to make sacrifice. If you are not ready to, it's not about what you are generating from your state alone.
Yes.
If you are not ready to make sacrifice, then you are not supposed to be a governor. But because a governor is a leader that carry to the grassroots, to the community, the poorest community should be touched. Not talk less of the local government workers or the state workers. Because what they do sometimes, they give priority to those higher classes that might even match with them. To ask the question, they just try to see their mouths, and down that level they don't even pay or even give them an audience to air their view, and it's very, very bad. Now another thing again is that another doctrine they have when they are leaving office, there is always a debt. Now if you carefully make research about the causes of all this, high debt, they will leave more than how many 2 years for the state, for the next incoming governor to come and start paying. Now this incoming government will tell you that the allocation blah blah blah, he paid debt from it.
Exactly.
Okay, these are the little, okay, we need more money or we are going to borrow. So these are the tactics they are using. By the time you say, oh, there is need for us to pay more minimum wage, increment in minimum wage, oh, so we are paying debt to look at what we are, look at the record on the financial note. So those are not really excuses, because money is being funded. All the sphere of government are funded. All the departments are funded. So there's no excuse for irregularities.
Oh, there is no excuse for irregularities.
Yes.
Well, you've spoken well. But we heard recently that the Zamfara government just not so long implemented the 30,000 naira minimum wage, which has been approved since 2019. 2019. And I'm like, what is going on? Do you even see the possibility of being able to pay the now approved 70,000 naira? We are talking about now the Zamfara state, which just started the payment of 30,000 naira minimum wage that has been approved since 2019. And so what is your what is the fate, or what is the assurance that they are even going to, they will even pay the 70,000 naira minimum wage? And this thing is not even a laughable story,
like the way I was,
because 70,000 naira can't even do nothing.
Never.
I'm not even sure it is able to transport some persons to work on monthly basis.
It won't. If you are, okay, let's take an instance. If you are spending 1,000 naira, which I know is not done in anywhere, you spend more than 1,000 naira.
We did
even we didn't get you understand.
Just go and
you understand. So it's like they are just using these people as scapegoats, workers as scapegoats, like as tools. Let me use that word. The word they call it tools. They are using them as tools, because if they are really your workers, you will consider their expenses, you consider their family expenses and everything as a man, because a man is somebody who takes care of the whole family. The whole family. You know what it takes to take care of the whole family: the school fee, the light bill, the house rent, the blah blah blah. Everything is there. Nowadays, workers in Nigeria, they cannot go out with their family on vacation.
You
cannot go with your family for vacation. No, that's how it ought to be. That's how it ought to be. Sometimes you keep money. When the money comes, you keep money, you keep your expenses.
I start from eating 3 square meals. In this current reality, how many families can boast of good square meal?
So people eat just once in a day or twice. They eat good food in the morning, in the evening they eat what they see. Anything they see, they will eat. That is the situation that we are now. So this government has just approved 30,000 minimum wage. When people are climbing to 70,000, 80,000, 100,000 plus. That was approved in 2019. I should just pray, because I'm always optimistic. I should just pray that he meet up to expectations. If not, I think there is going to be a very dramatic movement.
Even meet up to expectations.
No, we are just hopeful.
Well, everything can happen, because in Nigerian language they will say what God cannot do
does not exist. So
it's glad to have you join us. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Your name and please where you're calling us from.
My name is Rashid. I'm calling from Benin.
You're calling from where?
From Benin, Kebbi State.
Oh, okay. Please go ahead, Abdul Rashid.
Saying hello to your guest over there.
Hello.
He has really hit the nails on the head. You see, until Nigerians understand that the main enemies of the masses are the governors, will get nowhere in this country.
Okay.
That is just the fact. Counting 1, 2, 3. This is one of the governments or regime that has ever released large sum of money to each and every state in this country. Before we blame federal government for poverty, let's start from the grassroots. The local government, the state, before the federal government. Automatically, the local government is non-existent. The state is playing the financial role or financial beneficiary of the state. Now the local government, everything that's supposed to go to the local government is being pocketed by the governors. Therefore, we don't talk of the local government now. We talk of the states that should take care of the welfare of the citizens before the federal. This is where we are. We have to start from. I think it's high time we do mental checkup for each and everybody contesting for key posts by the governors in this country. Because it's madness. What will a man do with the billions of naira in his current his savings, for God's sake? And when you embezzle this money, you go and stack it in a foreign bank while your citizen, the people you claim to be working for a time. Let me tell you, even those who are implementing the 70,000, go down the lane and tax the cities, the workers there. Before they take home, believe me, they have slashed this money in the name of tax here, tax and there. And whatever they get home at the end of the day is nothing to write home about. So those people say they are getting 70, 75, go through it. It will not even meet up to 40% in the workers' accounts. So these are the things we should wake up to in this country. Before we talk of the presidency, we talk of the governor. Because these are the people that are supposed to care for the masses.
All right.
And okay, for instance, look at this issue of tax
reform bill.
I took my time to just go through it. I see that there are a lot of ways the masses will enjoy from this presentation.
Okay.
Who were the first people to go against it? The governors. That tells you how much they love their citizens. I rest my case. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for
thank you very much
for your wealth of knowledge and contribution. Well, I was going to ask you that question before he even mentioned it. Now we talk about bad governance. We talk about accountability. We talk about transparency in governance. Okay, now the federal government has done their own part by implementing this law.
Yeah.
Now 70,000 naira minimum wage. Okay, so now what is the excuse for some governors of some state government not being able to pay? And in a country where we are trying to address so many things in the political system, who do we now hold accountable? Because we used to think it's the federal government, because everything we call the federal government, now we call the federal government, but now we are seeing the state governments to do even more how do we address? What is your thought, or how would you react to this situation?
I think the last caller just said some of them, and let me just throw more light on it. You know, the system of government, we have the federal, we have the state, we have the local government. Then if you want to go down, maybe the community, the councillors, blah blah blah. Now allocation is coming from the federal level
down
to the state. That's ought to be splitted accordingly to workers level and all that, salary structure and all that, so that people can get their money for the work they have worked. Now the state government will take this money, they will decide either to pay them or not to pay them, either to shortlist their payment, short pay them or not, or to pay them in full. So very 80% or if not 85% of Nigerian governors, they do this thing I'm talking about. When the money comes like they decide, this is the battery make committee will just come, decide and say, okay, let's pay them this month or let's pay them this amount of money. And if you try to want to rascal, you want to implicate them, they will silence you. That is what they do. That is what they do. So for us to enjoy this government, first of all, changes has to start from the state governors.
And how do we implement these changes? Because
these changes have to come from the election, right? From the elected positions. The change has to start from there. We should know who we are voting for. We shouldn't vote for somebody because it's from PDP or it's from APC or it's from Labour Party or it's from SDP, it's from NPCA or NPPC or whatever. Vote for somebody who is credible, who is outstanding. Or let me write back to where I was in school in Besu, Delta State University. Now I said as national secretary, while I was serving as national secretary, I was struggling and I was also paying fee for people, for students. If we could go and ask in Delta State University, I was paying school fee across faculties, across departments, across all tribes and culture. That is the spirit. If you don't have the spirit, when you get there, you go and do the opposite.
Do nothing.
So when I was elected, I was returned for a second position as a national secretary of the Union Student Worldwide. After which I contested for director of finance in my school. I won. I made a promise in my manifesto. Even before I was elected, before I was sworn in, I did all that. I paid fee for students. So it has to be upbringing. If you are not well brought up, if you are not in that line of giving, of a free mind that you want to make sacrifice for people, there is no way. So that is why we have to start it from the electoral process. That we need to pray for good leaders to represent us. If you have a bad leader, no matter how rich the state is, you won't see the money of the state because he actually will keep telling you that there is no money in the state. Allocation has not come. Things are bad. They have project at hand. Infrastructure project and all that blah blah blah. They are eating money. So the staging has to start from the electoral process, right from the governor, the House of Assembly members, the reps, the senators. What are the senators doing? Senators are supposed to be checkmating sometimes with the activities of House of Assembly, with the activities of the governor.
Through oversight functions.
Yes, the division of labor. They check our balances. You check our balance. These are the duty of them, but they don't do it. What the House of Assembly does, they go to the plenary and they just discuss. Okay, let's do it. Okay, this is bread. Let's share this bread and all that. That's what they do. And it's affecting us. And it's going to affect them too.
Comrade, that cracks me up. Hello. Turn down the volume of your TV set, please. You can hear me.
Okay, I'll do that.
Please write to me.
Hello.
Turn down the volume of your TV set, please.
Hello, I've done that.
All right,
hello.
perfect. Good evening.
Yes, I am Pastor Momo. I'm calling from Taraba State.
Pastor Momo from Taraba, glad to have you join us. Please,
yes,
your thoughts.
Yeah, I just want to talk because of the man, what he said just now. Is that the electorate, they have the power to vote whom they want to vote. I don't think that is correct in this Nigeria system of voting.
All right.
Do you know? And he make a comparison talking about when he was in the school. The school election and the Nigeria election they are not the same. Cannot compare.
Exactly.
This the Nigeria system. Your vote does not count. You should know that. A governor that want to go for the second time, if he's not in the opposition, he's in the ruling party, he must go there. Whether the whole village or the whole ward or the whole unit or local government, that this is
not go, he must go. Have that point in mind that in Nigeria system, vote does not count. That is, we don't have the power to say that this governor is not doing well. We are waiting for him to contest. No, it doesn't work in this country. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your thoughts. You know, I was actually going to ask you that before he pointed that out, because a few weeks ago we saw the controversy surrounding the speech of the former president Olusegun Obasanjo, where he talked about leadership skill in Nigerian system, and which the presidency reacted to, calling, you know, trying to making some sort of drama out of it. And our caller has said, in Nigeria, vote does not count. Now, in the former president's speech, he made mention of INEC. You know, he said, what word was he? He said sanitizing the INEC system, vetting the INEC system. And I feel like at this, I know that at this point we can't talk about where vote counts, and in a country where vote counts and where it doesn't count, without addressing the INEC. So, but then I would want you to react to that, what you made out of that. But before then, we have a caller here. Let's see what the caller. It's glad to have you join us. Good evening.
Hello, thank you. This is Rashid again from Benin. I'm sorry, I have to call back again.
All right, it's fine. It's fine.
You see, talking about election in Nigeria, the Nigeria government or Nigeria constitution really have hurt Nigeria into ransom. Why am I saying this? If we can just take care of two things, believe you me, the masses will be able to choose their candidates. One, try to kill what we call artificial poverty. Because we like it or not, provided this artificial poverty remains in Nigeria, there's no how we can have credible election. Because they make sure, watch it, we just pray things will not get worse from next year, because the moment we are getting closer to election, everything is tightening up against the masses, so that by the time they start releasing, whatever you get, a joining man will hold into the most tiniest thing to be safe.
Exactly.
That is one. Secondly, you see our traditional rulers, if their initial powers can be returned back to them, believe you me, Nigeria will change for better. These people, if you want to know how effective they are, please go down to the villages as a stranger. For instance, maybe as should I say, community developer. Go there, just get a traditional ruler there. Believe me, within hours, he will make sure he organizes the surrounding scenario for you. The environment will be conducive. He will want everybody, and everybody will keep to his instruction. That tells you how powerful they are. They're coming to the local government, the state, they work under the chairman. They are afraid not to step on toes. But believe me, the power can be given to them. They know everything that is wrong. These people will correct you. So if you can just get that opportunity to change these two things, we'll be singing a different song in this country.
All right, thank you very much for that contribution. Please, be out of time. Comrade, I would like to, and I want to add to the question you want to answer. I talked about the INEC. Now, after the election process, we see what happens. We see oppositions go to court, but even the judiciary, you know, there seems to be some sort of, non-transparency even in the judiciary. Now, he talked about traditional rulers. So these three things, please, quickly in 1 minute.
First of all, let me react to the other caller when he talked about school election. The difference between state, school, and all that. Blah, blah, blah. You know, I made mention of electoral process and comprised of the INEC, the activities and everything. That was why I made mention of the electoral process has to be scrutinized, changed, looked at, and select them accordingly. That was what I said. Now, responding to traditional rulers, maybe their autonomy, their voice should be heard and all that. I think it will be a very good loss to us, because when a king approaches a governor that, look, you are not doing well, the governor will know that, he or she will know that something is really bad. What about five king from your state are fighting you? You are not safe as a governor. 5 out of 2, you are not safe. But the kings we have, sorry to say, some of them, they are allegedly being bribed by the governor. So they don't have freedom to talk. Because this thing will facilitate democracy. We facilitate the interest of the people, but they don't push it. They don't push. They don't fight for the interest of their subjects as a king, and this is very, very wrong.
It is very, very wrong. Well, I am sorry we have to draw the curtain here on this conversation. But comrade, thank you so much for your, your thought this evening and your audience. I'm definitely going to bring you back to talk
Thank
more.
you so much.
Because yes, Nigeria is a situation where at this point all we have to do is to get it right, nothing else than to get it right. And to our leaders and to state governments who are watching this evening, and I hope you are hearing the voices of the people who have voted you into power are not happy with some of you. I'm not saying all of you, some of you's performance. So, but then Nigeria is a place where we are hoping that God will help us. Until we come your way some other time, keep watching Kaftan Television, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Good evening.